Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to The Mixer, the segment on this channel where I give you guys all sorts of detailed analyses from all walks of life. I'll talk about people, places, animals, food, sports, the whole nine yards, you know. And today's video is going to be the final one in this little, let's say, cycle here of doing car-related videos, you know, because this video is coming just right on the heels of my Forza Horizon 5 review, you know, the game that I played recently on my channel, and I finished it, you know, did some cool races and stuff, you know, and I reviewed it there. And I have also done two other videos, you know, prior to this, which was talking about the fastest car in the world and the most expensive car in the world. And today I'm going to be covering the smallest car in the world because these videos are a lot of fun. You know, I thought it wasn't going to be too much because I don't really know cars too well, but I'm enjoying putting the research into it, looking them up and getting photos and videos for you guys. So that's a lot of fun, you know. And this car in particular is going to be very cute because the title is not an exaggeration, nor is the thumbnail. This car literally is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the smallest production car ever made, you know. And it's actually really funny how it works because it's barely a car. It's more like a child's go-kart, you know, because it's so freaking small. And it is actually, even the name is small. The name is like this big, you know, it's probably barely gonna fit here. I'm gonna have to make the text really big. It is, of course, the very, very lovable Peel P50. Made by, unsurprisingly, the Peel Engineering Company, you know, on the Isle of Man. And the actual first model of this car ever was released in 1962, you know, and they were actually produced from a 3-year period there from 62 to 65, and then later again it started being produced again from 2011 onwards, you know, so it is still in production today. And again in 2021 it was recognized as the smallest car in production. You know, no car, this car literally cannot get any smaller, you know, because back in the day the original model didn't even have a reverse gear, so you could literally just go forward. But the thing is that it had a handle in the rear of it, you know, that you can actually pull. Because it was very lightweight, you can actually maneuver it physically whenever it was required. So basically the car could only go forward, and if you wanted to reverse you would have to get out of the car and physically push it backwards. Physically pull it backwards. It was freaking crazy, man. This thing was really small but also very cute, you know. It is, of course, in the micro car class, you know, and it has just a one-door coupe. It literally has just one door. It was marketed as being able to hold just one adult and a shopping bag, you know, because there's literally just one seat. So it's really hard to look at, especially if you're claustrophobic, but it is still pretty cute. A few more of the layout here. It does have a side engine and also boasts a rear wheel drive. Okay, there we go. So those two little statistics there, you know. Very, very simplistic car. It's like a little piece of Lego, you know. And yeah, I'm not gonna read too much about the engine or the transmission because that's not important, you know, but I just think it's actually really cool. It was originally designed as a city car, so you could go around town, you know, but the thing is that the only door that it has was on the left side, so you literally could not enter from the right, you know. There was a single windscreen wiper and just one headlight, you know, and at the time the standard colors were Daytona white, dragon red, and dark blue. Okay, now here's the really funny part. The original model itself, you know, it sold at the time for what would be in American dollars $8,500, you know, at the time, which really for that time period, bro, was freaking crazy. And the company originally produced 50 of these things, of which 27 are known to still exist right now in the world, so you can still get your hands on one. However, there was one in particular that sold for a grand whopping $176,000 at auction, you know, and that was back in 2016. Why the hell somebody would pay so much for a tiny ass car, I don't know, but maybe it's the same thing with the most expensive car. It's like a collector's item. Now, before I continue and give you guys more information, let's take a look at some photos here of this pretty little thing. It looks like a freaking little baby car, man. It's so cute. It's like a pigeon. I don't know. It's just, it reminds me of the little cars in the Cars movie, you know, like the ones that have wings and stuff, you know, the little Mini Coopers. But anyways, so here's the thing. The original car, I do believe they have all maintained the same size, you know, and this is kind of the funniest part, which is also scary if you are claustrophobic, because the original car, and I believe every model since, is only 54 inches long, man, which is 130 37 centimeters long, for those of you who prefer that statistics there, you know, and also 39 inches wide, which translates to 99 centimeters wide, you know. So, and also it has this unladen weight of 130 pounds, you know, or 59 kilograms if you prefer it that way, you know. So every car that was released, both the original and the one more recent, you know, are considered to be the smallest production cars ever made, you know. And because of its very small size, it can fit through doorways and even corridors, you know. Like it can enter buildings, you know. It can pretty much go through. It can probably go through my bathroom door, you know, and go through narrow corridors and stuff. It's actually very small. You can navigate it through a building, you know. So, and this actually was even demonstrated back in a 2007 episode of Top Gear, you know. And the thing is that the original P50 actually used this DKW single cylinder engine, you know, which means that it had a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Or 37 miles per hour. This thing was so slow, man. It was freaking painfully slow. It probably took you like, I don't know, 3 hours to get from your house to the supermarket, which is like down the street. Oh my god, man. But like I said before, you know, it had no reverse gear. It had a 3-speed manual transmission, you know. So if you for you to turn in a confined area, the car would not make that turn, you know. You could only get out of the car and push it or lift it up and drag it, you know. That's the only way to make tight turns. That's how small this thing was. So not exactly very, you know, maneuverable, but still very fun if you want to feel like a midget or something, you know. And the fuel consumption was apparently, I don't know what this means, I'm not going to. It says 2.8 liters, I don't know how to read this, 2.8 liters of gas every 100 kilometers or something, you know. But anyway, back in 63, as a publicity stunt, one of these cars was taken to the Blackpool Tower in the lift, you know, and driven around the observation balcony, you know, because if you see that video on YouTube, you see how cool it is, you know. It's really cute. These cars, man, they feel like little baby things, you know. And also, back in 2013, something else happened involving one of these cars, because a genuine 1964 Peel P50, you know, with why am I even reading this? The registration number, forget about it, you know. An actual, real, genuine collector's 64 Peel was sold at auction for $120,000, man. People really love these tiny ass cars, don't they? These car collectors, man, they love to get their hands on these things. It's freaking crazy. Like, I would never get one because I'm a pretty tall person and I'm kind of claustrophobic. So if I even so much as look at that car from up close, I'm probably gonna have a heart attack, you know. It's freaking crazy. And there have been quite a few different ones that were sold, you know, and usually it varies. It varies like from euros or pounds, because they're also sold in the UK or dollars, you know. I try to always put the values here in dollars to make it easier. Now, I have given you guys a lot of technical information. I've showed you some photos, and now if YouTube can allow me the pleasure of doing so, I will show you guys a video here of the P50 in action. I cannot stop laughing at this thing, man. Holy freaking crap. How do people drive this thing and be taken seriously? You know, how can they, I don't even know how you register this thing at the DMV, you know? For some reason, it's much more popular in the UK, you know, it's always been street legal there, but inspection has to kind of look at it as either a 3-wheel moped or a 4-wheel quadricycle, you know? But it has always been road legal in the UK, you know, and people there pay upwards of tens of thousands of pounds for it, you know? I don't really know why it's so popular there. I think Mr. Bean had one or something very similar to one, you know, back in those old 90s TV shows of Mr. Bean, you know. So it is street legal in the US, but it is also exported to other countries, but different countries view it differently, you know. For example, in the Netherlands, they were registered as tricycles, the original Peel Tridents, you know, so it's not considered a car there. You can own it and drive it, but it's not going to be registered as an actual automotive vehicle, you know. And there were a few replicas as well, but they are considered differently. In Amsterdam, for example, there is a museum that has one. I'm not sure if they can drive it there, but it's there in the museum in case you want to see it, you know. And Apparently there are local traffic laws that make it so it can't be driven in certain places, you know, and it seems like, for example, it might be in the bicycle path. You can't drive it as a motorcycle or a bicycle, you know, it all depends. And the thing is that it seems like, oh, here we go. Now, sometimes it's classified as a moped in other countries, you know, like the one that went to Finland. So if you have a P50 in Finland, it's not considered a car, it is a moped, you know. So it's kind of interesting how different countries look at it in different ways, you know. I'm not sure this thing exists here in Brazil, and if it did, bro, it would not. Brazilians can't take anything seriously to save their lives, so that car would probably be ridiculed into the ground, you know, would be stolen and stripped for parts, you know. I think that this kind of car works much better as a display at museums, you know, like an automobile museum, an automotive museum, a car museum, okay? Museum where you display different vehicles from different eras, you know? Because what's the point of owning this thing if, depending on where you live, you can't even drive it as a legal car, you know? The legal status changes depending on the country, but in general, I'm pretty sure this thing is not easy to get a license for, you know? But if you're like a midget, if you're a tiny person, then maybe it's good for you, you know? It's actually probably a lot better for you aerodynamically speaking than a regular car, but a normal adult human should not have this car in their possession, at least not to actually use, you know? There is no way in hell that thing is comfortable for an adult human, unless you're not claustrophobic at all. But still, I think it's cool, I think it's cute, you know, and I wanted to give this video here to you guys, explaining how it is and show you photos and videos. But because I am now fully done with all things related to Forza on my channel, I played the game, I reviewed it, you know. This is my final vehicle related video for a while, you know, until next year. Maybe I'll do something else when I come back to there, I'll play a different racing game, but that's it. I got my driver's license, so maybe I'll do some videos in the future showing you guys myself driving here and there. That's gonna be cool. And that's it, guys. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below, if you've ever heard of this car, if you've ever seen one, you know, and if you would like to have one, if you're not claustrophobic or if you're tiny, just let me know. And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload, and it's all good, baby. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.